What world event do you think was staged? WrestleMania. That time David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Definitely something fishy about that. 1999 Moscow apartment bombings. Janet Jackson and Boobgate. Justification for the Iraq invasion. At least some of the world's conspiracy theories must be true, but the thing that stops me believing most modern ones is that contemporary politics and business scandals have shown us that the human race is pretty much incapable of keeping secrets. Some of the conspiracy theories you hear would require so many different people and institutions, often with conflicting agendas, keeping secrets. That's the bit that isn't plausible. It was far more plausible in the time of JFK when info wasn't as easily stored, recorded or shared. What world event do you think was staged? Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide. Way too convenient to be true. Same high-security prison that housed El Chapo suddenly doesn't have camera footage of that night and the guards were unaware of what was going on too? Smells of BS lol. Same for John McAfee. Literally said, if I'm ever found dead, I didn't kill myself. What is 100% a scam? When FBI agents ask for bank accounts or gift cards, the individual who called me yesterday claiming to be U.S. Customs and Border Patrol who said I had an illegal package from Mexico in my name. Anyone promising to teach you the secrets of becoming wealthy at a free seminar. I have a family member that got sucked into the Kiyosaki bullshit vortex. It's a damn cult. You won't last 5 minutes game. The sugar mommies on Instagram that keep trying to talk to me. The people that call my house trying to sell me duck cleaning. I don't have a duck. Nutraboom. But I will say this, Debbie Stovelman is happy, healthy, and alive. What wouldn't be nearly as popular if it wasn't for the US GPS? The American military gave away one of the coolest technologies to the world. No service fees, no subscriptions. Imagine if Meta or Apple had invented it. Proms. In other countries some schools host proms just because they see it on TV. Spam in Northeast Asia, especially South Korea. American soldiers ate it during the Korea War and it gained popularity to the point that it's a common food for both Koreans, Japanese, and some Chinese cultures such as Shanghainese. Red Solo cups. Halloween. Propane and propane accessories. What job is highly praised but is actually crap? Based on all the news over the past couple of years, EMT. The pay is shit, the hours are awful, half the equipment is broken, it's dangerous, and you end up losing a lot of people. Social worker, I'd imagine. Good people with good intentions going into it, that are forcibly exposed to the worst humanity has to offer, or at the very least, incredibly difficult situations. Video game artist. Good lord, everyone I know wants to draw for video games. Lawyer. Crappy life for my opinion, living with sleep deprivation, drugs and hate. Restaurant owner. Modeling, not glamorous at all. A life of hurry up and wait, without any cognitive aspect. What human experiment would you carry out if it was legal? Have politicians live on basic wage for a month, then get them to do a budget for their community. You know those YouTube videos where you have like 1,000 US Marines versus 100,000 armed geese? I would really like to know how many toddlers I could overcome in a gymnasium fight. I'd lock 5 people each with completely different extreme political views in a room together and give them everything they could ever need except things that can hurt them. Just gonna watch what happens. Start over with an island of diverse people with no knowledge of our current world issues. See if the issues would repeat themselves. See if our issues are biologically hardwired. What are some real but crazy facts that could save your life? If you ever have to rescue a drowning person, throw them something to grab onto beside yourself. If your house smells like fish for absolutely no reason, 9 times out of 10 it means that there is an electrical fire. The other time it means you need to take a shower. If you get stabbed or impaled, leave the foreign object alone. Do not attempt to remove it. Yeah, it's horrible and it's freaking you out, but your odds of survival are much higher if you just leave it be. Medical professionals will remove it in an environment equipped to deal with it. If someone is trying to suffocate you with a pillow by pressing it down on your face, just rotate your head to the side and there will be a small air pocket for you to breathe. They'll probably still try to kill you afterwards, but at least you can survive for longer. What are some real but crazy facts that could save your life? You can hold a plastic bag around a willow tree branch with leaves and it will start condensating drinkable water in the bag. If you're choking, don't get embarrassed. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't walk away from people. I've seen a couple people nearly die because they were panicking and walked away from the dinner table and such while choking. Do the universal sign for choking with both your hands on your neck, and most people will get the message. If it's cloudy outside and you suddenly feel static run down your body and your hairs raise, better pucker them cheeks and drop to the ground. Lightning is about to hit dangerously close to you. Ladies of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing a guy has done during sex? He moaned his own name when he came. Still makes me laugh thinking about it. When I got on top he said welcome aboard. While doing doggy, my boyfriend typed on my butt like a keyboard then stuck his dick in and said I'm in like a 90s hacker movie. I told him to move faster and he heard Mufasa so he roared. Randomly punched me in the face and asked did you like that baby? And no I didn't. I had a guy lean on top of me and say you have no idea how long I've wanted to do this to you and he then proceeded to pray to God to thank him for this opportunity. What is 100% a scam? Low stakes birth bikinis. There is no way that little fabric stitching should be like $80 for each individual piece. Kids iPhone iPad games. My kid is downloading these free games that constantly ask her to buy an extra skin or a treasure box of thousands of coins to upgrade and keep playing. It's really scummy because they know exactly who their audience is, children who have no concept of money. I'm paying off debts of $5,000 to the first 5 people to DM me, courteously of Instagram. Edit. You would not believe the amount of morons messaging me at the moment because they didn't read the context. Which celebrity went on the fastest, hardest and most destructive downward spiral from their peak? Jared Fogle, the Subway guy. The things discovered about him are quite disturbing. Prison is an appropriate place for him. Army Hammer. And apparently Ezra Miller is just batshit. Tila Tequila going from bisexual reality TV vixen to Nazi was pretty astonishing. John Wilkes Booth. I mean, Oscar Pistorius was a pretty sharp fall from Paralympian champion role model to spouse murderer. Robert Downey Jr. had a pretty destructive spell. Incredible recovery though. Which celebrity went on the fastest, hardest and most destructive downward spiral from their peak? Kevin Spacey getting revealed to be a predator, using his sexuality as an excuse, getting fired from his projects and then posting an insane supervillain level YouTube video as Frank Underwood basically blaming the viewers for being complicit. Mark Salling. The guy who played Puck in Glee, maybe not the biggest star, but he was a fan favorite on a huge show, got caught with child pornography, pleaded guilty, then hung himself. That's a pretty hard downward spiral. Who's a celebrity no one can hate? Betty White, Bob Ross, Christopher Lee. Fought in World War II, played Dracula, a wizard, a Sith Lord, and many other roles. He also was in a metal band. I've only ever heard good things about Hugh Laurie. Julie Andrews, Keanu Reeves, just watched Uncle Buck the other day. John Candy was a great actor. Robin Williams, Danny DeVito. Who's a celebrity no one can hate? Rick Moranis. I mean, the guy literally gave up his acting career to be a full-time stay-at-home dad when his wife died. Mr. Rogers. I've never heard negative shit about Tony Hawk. Dolly Parton, Maggie Smith, Alan Rickman. He made in a hole like Snape somewhat likable, but honestly, never heard anyone say anything bad about him. But I am young, in relative terms, to his career. Ex-girlfriend got pregnant by someone to get revenge on me, so I can't wrap my head around it. But me and my ex-girlfriend are finally 18 years old and she let a 21-year-old guy get her pregnant as revenge on me after I left her. We ended up back together for a while and she said she still loves me a lot and kept stalking me. Mind you, she was 17 when she was conceived a child. Now she's started an OnlyFans being a single teen mom and is happily pregnant and attraction older men. It's in her bio that she loves older men. Keep in mind, she was narcissistic in the relationship and did petty things to me all the time. If a fictional character had an OnlyFans account, which one do you think would be the most successful? Mystique. I don't know if she would be number one, but it would be embarrassing how well Tinkerbell would do. Mrs. Incredible. Jessica Rabbit. Any Pixar mom. Lola Bunny. Chico from Kim Possible. Obviously, Lara Croft. I imagine Diva from Overwatch would be pretty popular. What's the most horrific act committed by someone you know personally? Worked with a guy who got done for manslaughter. He bashed someone's head in with a table in a pub. This was after he stabbed a guy in the chest with darts. This was over a darts game. He also served time for beating a policeman into a coma with the policeman's own truncheon after the policeman caught him breaking into a car. What's the most horrific act committed by someone you know personally? My father beat the shit out of my mother and myself when I was a toddler. I have an uneven skull because of it. Until I found out, I thought it was a birth defect. I didn't find this out from my mother until I was an adult when I had to take him to court because he had opened numerous credit cards with my social security number when I was a kid and had tanked my credit by the time I was 18. Murder, twice. 2 separate incidents. 1. Killed a guy in a fight, not intentional, goes in for 10, serves 8. 2. Gets out. Another guy we knew gives him a hard time about how many times he sucked dick. Shot him in the face later that evening. He's not getting out. What's your most shameful NSFW moment? Part 2. When I was around 10-11 years old, my dad got my brother and I a computer to use. He set it up in the den and pretty much allowed us free unsupervised access to it. He had gone out with his friends one night, and my brother, one of his friends, and myself were on the internet just typing in random things and adding com to it. Now back in the early 2000s it didn't take long for us to stumble upon porn, which led us to clicking on more and more porn links because we were all like, holy shit, there's naked women on here. Eventually we bricked the computer and it blue screened on us. Instead of turning it off, unplugging the computer, turning off the monitor, we just left it and went to bed. My dad got home and saw the blue screen, did the old Control, Alt, Delete trick to pull up the task manager, saw that we had porn pulled up on the web browser. At this point he makes us all come out into the den, sits us on the couch and tries to make us confess to why the computer was blue screened. We of course shrugged and acted like we had no clue. He then turned the monitor on and went through the internet history. We all had to sit there while my dad clicked through some of the most heinous debased shit I've ever seen in my life. The whole time he was just reading out the history and then he'd say something like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell is wrong with you all? Yeah, that computer did not last very long. If a fictional character had an OnlyFans account, which one do you think would be the most successful? Chow from Road to El Dorado, Coke Pam from Archer, Harley Quinn, Geralt. Which or one card serve as a template of what to expect? Medusa. She would make all her fans hard as a rock. Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame. She had that man losing his mind and soul showing barely any skin. Deadpool. What has consistently been getting shittier? Social media, advertisements. Not only the quality of advertisements, but frequency has skyrocketed. For example, when you watch a basketball game, these motherfuckers put an ad in between free throw attempts. Everything is presented by company XYZ. Everything has some sort of advertisement connected to it, and it is infuriating. My health as I get older. People aren't kidding when they say I turned X age and started falling apart. It actually happens. Housing costs. The quality of furniture. Unless you want to spend $10,000, you can't really get something that will last 50+ years. Mainstream network television programming. What has consistently been getting shittier? Cost of living. Cost of healthcare to stay alive. Streaming services. Perception of people as you grow up. When you're a little kid, you think adults can fix things. Then, as you get older, you realize that they don't fix things very well. The quality of search results on Google. They're all ads, and SEO for relevance seems to have completely broken down. YouTube. 2 unskippable ads with every freaking video, and more throughout. I'm honestly surprised if there's only 2. My attention span. What do you wish Hollywood would stop doing? Making it impossible to hear dialogue. Having a main character whose job income level does not match their home or lifestyle at all. Milking everything dry, turning everything into a universe. Scenes that are too fucking dark to actually see. If I wanted to listen to a show, I'd download an audiobook. Spoiling the film in the trailers. Whispering, mumbling dialogue, then cutting to a chase scene. Dramatic posing close-ups. Forcing a love story that makes no sense in a movie that has nothing to do with romance. How do you think you're going to die? Alone. Probably heart failure. It runs in the family. I'm probably gonna get old and fall down a large thing of stairs. I don't know how, but I'm sure my last words will be, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'll mysteriously disappear from a cruise ship. An investigation will reveal $1 million life insurance policy was taken out on me. One day, I'll have my life together in a mind-blowing manner. Own my house, be married to someone I love, have a thriving business, be famous, probably, stellar mental and physical health, everything I could ever hope for. Then, I'll forget to look both ways and get hit by a car. What's the most horrific act committed by someone you know personally? I live down the road from Terry Joe Volner. He rode my bus every day, and was also a violent, horrible person. He murdered a 5-year-old because he had feelings for the kid's mom, and I guess she didn't feel the same. So he murdered one of her kids, took a picture of the child's body and sent it to the child's mom and told her he was going to kill her other kids that he was babysitting if she didn't come home right now. He got life. Then he beat his cellmate to death with his bare hands so brutally they considered the death penalty. He got life again. Is something you think all men could agree on. Big rock in water make big splash. If a man takes a hit to the nuts, we all feel it. All men know that when we go to urinate we have the silent or noisy mode. Down nod. How are you sir? Up nod. What's up G? You don't ask questions when another man digs a hole. You either admire it and make encouraging comments, or you help him dig. You gotta respect someone if they find a cool stick. Zippers are dangerous. What is the most annoying fan base? Politicians' fan base. Nobody hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans. Those people who romanticize Harley Quinn and the Joker's relationship. Any fan base of a show that is shipping wars can go to hell. Crypto brothers are so fucking annoying, at least I don't see them around nowadays. Elon Musk's fan base. BTS Army. I'm a big BTS fan myself, but I fucking hate that fandom. Andrew Tate fans. What is a minor confession you would like to make today? Part 1. I bought and ate an entire blooming onion by myself. I didn't even eat it at the Outback. I took it home so I could devour it in my room, lit only by the dim light of my monitor like some degenerate goblin while I scroll through Reddit. Most of the time when I go to the bathroom at work I don't actually have to go to the bathroom. I just want to sit down for 5 minutes and not get bitched at for it. I am the one who clogged the office toilet today. What are teens today not ready to hear? That dick pic you sent, got screenshotted and sent to 5 other people. Everything you do as a teenager will be cringe to your children. You won't feel different when you're older, or have kids. You'll just be you. It's weird. To the ones who ride the public bus in my city, specifically, nobody else wants to hear whatever TikTok you're watching. Buy some headphones. In 15 years you're going to think the kids have gone too far and they're going to think you're old-fashioned. Please shower. Drugs ain't a game. What do you swear on your life to be 100% true? The management at my work have installed some sort of signal jamming Faraday cage around the toilet so the staff can't spend time in the toilet using the internet on their phones. Disney made Frozen so that when you Google Disney Frozen you would get search results about the movie and not about Walt Disney supposedly being cryogenically frozen. I bowled a 289. Friend that went with me is notorious for making up details. No one believes me. Subway was much higher quality 20 years ago. Rocks are soft and squishy. They just tense up when you touch them. When you look at a person completely unaware of you, they have the impulse to turn and look at you too. My life will get better. Men of Reddit. What is the male equivalent of flowers as a gift? Food. Homemade. 10mm socket. A very cool rock. Pie. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Old school truth. A good sandwich. I was on my way to visit my girlfriend 3 hours away this weekend, and she called and asked if I wanted a grilled cheese waiting for me when I got there. What an exciting gift that was. Hugs. My wife buys me flowers sometimes, and I really like it. Literally any acknowledgement of the dude's physical being. Not sure if it's just my experience or if it's a general thing, but any acknowledgement of any part of myself will keep me going for a week. What's a name brand item you refuse to replace with generic? Post-it notes and practically anything else made by 3M. Crayola crayons. Generic taste funny. Lego. No rivals have comparable quality. Data storage. If I lose years of photographs, it will be because of my own negligence, not because I saved $8 on a SD card. Q-tip. I've tried others and they suck, then I'm stuck with like 2,000 shitty cotton swabs. Nilla wafers. The off-brand versions tend to be flavored differently and they leave a funny aftertaste. Dawn dish soap. It's just good, and really not that more expensive. Tampons. I'm a cheap bastard most of the time, but if something's gonna be jammed up my fun hole for hours at a time, it better be of the utmost quality. What are Americans not ready to hear? You need more than 2 political parties for democracy to work. That the entire world excels at making bathroom stalls that you can't see between. Not sure why the US stall manufacturers can't figure out how to close those massive gaps. It's really weird how you guys glorify your politicians. Wearing merch of a politician? Very, very strange. I heard someone say that the way we look at Florida is the same way the rest of the world looks at us. Working 80 hours a week isn't something to brag about. Fingernails scratching on an upstairs window coming from outside at 3 a.m. Profit-based healthcare is wrong on so many levels. College shouldn't drain your entire savings account. Your tipping culture is a scam. Tipping should not be a burden obligation of your customers. What screams trashy parents, when their kids can literally set the world on fire and they'll blame anyone else to avoid responsibility. Kids running around a store trashing the place and not a parent in sight. Kids in diapers running out into the middle of the street with no parent around. Mothers who sees their daughter as competition. Social media influencers whose entire content is their children. People who publicly punish their kids online. Parents who give out way too many details about their children, giving them lack of privacy. Child exploitation at its finest. Changing your kid's diaper in a Walmart parking lot and throwing the diaper full of shit on the ground for someone else to deal with. Cussing out the officials at a Little League game. Telling your child to punch another player they tripped over. Today I fricked up by buying Nerf guns. So this just happened and I'm still in shock. So I just moved in with my girlfriend into her new apartment. Just for context, me and her are incredibly competitive and are always competing with one another. So on to the story. About a week ago I went to Walmart to pick up some things we needed when I had the idea to buy each of us a one-shot Nerf gun that came with 2 bullets each, 4 in total. I gave my girlfriend her gun and 2 bullets and the battle commenced. Throughout the week we broke 3 of the 4 bullets, so today when we were at Walmart I decided to buy a 70-pack of bullets. Before bed we started a Nerf gun fight. At the end of the fight I went to take a shower and went into the bathroom and got completely undressed. My girlfriend said she needed to come into the bathroom to brush her teeth. I checked her for a Nerf gun and saw that both of her hands and they were empty and she wasn't wearing a shirt, so I let her in. She then pulled out a Nerf gun from between her butt cheeks and aimed at my lower area. I did a spin dodge to avoid getting hit and she fired. This caused her to shoot a Nerf bullet at the tip of my penis from about 2 feet away. I am still in pain while typing this. What is something only an idiot would own? A joint checking account with a Nigerian prince. Official naming of a star. Can confirm. Do own one. Am idiot. Carpeted bathroom floors. A shirt with alpha male on it. A boat. Sincerely. A boat owner. Luggage with combination 1 2 3 4 5. One of those peeing Calvin bumper stickers. It was never in Calvin and Hobbes. Not once. Fake hood scoop. Vents. Chrome trims and other adhesive car accessories. NFTs. Oh wait, you don't actually own them. What are teens today not ready to hear? School has a system in place to keep you from falling behind. Life doesn't. It's okay to be a virgin at 18. Just because you fucked up does not mean you're a fuck up. Being controversial isn't the same as being interesting. Things will likely take significantly longer to achieve than you think. Not everybody can be an internet sensation. Somebody has to drive the dump truck. Condoms are for STDs too, even though there are other ways to avoid pregnancy. One day you too will be old and uncool, and it'll happen faster than you think. Social media is not reality and your entire life should not revolve around it. What's a trade secret you know from working the industry? If you ship through FedEx Express, if you're sending many packages envelopes to a single stop, ship one priority overnight and the rest standard. They'll be delivered together with the priority package. We actually did find and file that bug in your favorite video game. Our leadership just decided it was okay to ship with it. Most electronic medical records allow providers to put pop-up warnings in your chart if you act verbally or physically aggressive. If you yelled at the ER nurse in 2017, the medical assistant you called today begging for a last-minute appointment can see it. On any piece of machinery, if the welds you see look like shit, the welds you don't see are even worse. What's a trade secret you know from working the industry? Calls are not being answered in the order received. If you are wondering what's taking me so long to process your loan application, it's because I forgot about it. Casinos don't need to cheat. We have already rigged the game against you. The urine pregnancy test you take at the doctor's is the same as the Dollar Tree one. When you order at a drive-thru, The microphone stays on until you move forward, so everyone inside the store with the headset on can hear your conversation until you leave the ordering area. Having a crew that can pass a drug test is not the same as having a drug-free crew. Worked in high-end golf clubs for years. Almost all politicians register their handicap scores under a false name. The USGA handicap records are technically public information, and people would be pretty pissed if they knew how much time these guys actually spent playing golf. Men of Reddit, what are women not ready to hear? We wouldn't date you if you were a worm. It's your hair clogging the drains. See bat, apparently. Seriously. You look fine. Hanging out with my friends without you is healthy, and same goes for her hanging out with her friends. It's good for your mental health. Diamonds are a scam. You are not good at sex just because you let me do it to you. I am not a masseuse and you are not a customer. Meet me halfway. Y'all are too fucking mean to yourselves. Fucking allow yourselves some grace.